17 points currently. NASDAQ up 252 and the S&P up 41. Our next update is at 3 o'clock. I'm Sean Gallagher, News Radio 700 WLW.
Tony Pike here, and I'm thrilled to partner with Pella Windows and Doors of Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Like me, Pella goes beyond strength, beauty, and durability. With unmatched passion and precision, they craft every window and door just for your home. PellaWindowsCincinnati.com. Build something great.
Billy Cunningham, the Great American for Joseph Chevrolet and Colerain. Ask your neighbor, friends, and family. We've all bought from Joseph Chevrolet for more than a half a century. How about you as a Great American? Taking $12,000 off your next Silverado, or at Joseph Chevrolet leasing a new Equinox. Only $279 a month, no money down. It's the new year. It's January. It may be cold, but inside Joseph Chevrolet, it is hot, hot, hot. It's a great time to buy or lease the Chevy you need and want at Joseph Chevrolet. With the lowest prices, low interest rates, a great selection, and a knowledgeable sales team. Can't get much better than that. Join other great Americans. Together, let's drive. Joseph Chevrolet and Colerain and josephchevrolet.com.
Homeowners, it's time to start fresh in 2025. It's Eddie. Loan Pronto is here to help you take control of your finances by lowering your house payment and consolidating nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans starting in the low fives. If your current rate's over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto. Lock in a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 513-800-1550, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Rocky here for Bud Herbert Motors, Cincinnati's hometown equipment dealer. Are you tired of cheap equipment? Bud Herbert sells quality equipment such as John Deere tractors, steel chainsaws, trimmers, and Honda power equipment. 2 locations, Cincinnati and Harrison, Bud Herbert Motors.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Chuck Ingram is back.
I am.
We got some World Cup races coming down. Alpine skiing World Championships are coming up.
Really?
It's going to be on a mountain in Germany called Mount Wank. Mount Wank.
Yes.
And they've decided they're going to change their slogan because it wouldn't look good on TV in English-speaking, in particular the UK. As you may know, it's a slang term in the UK for masturbation.
Right.
On each of these gondolas, it has real big with the heart. I heart wank.
Yes.
I love wank.
Yes.
So they're changing the logos on the gondolas so it doesn't say I love wank. And they point out that in what they say here that she agreed that it may be too vulgar for the World Cup. So they're changing I love wank, even though in Germany it's pronounced Vonk. It's not wank, it's Vonk. They said we want to convey a positive image and togetherness of us as partners to the outside world and not use sexual slang, which it's not in German,
right?
As we know.
Yes.
So that's...
People aren't mature enough to...
Apparently not.
Make that change?
Apparently not.
Huh.
During the European Championships hosted in Germany last year, fans of Scotland's national football team staying in the area bought as much wank merchandise as they could because they found it amusing. So they're losing out on some merch opportunities here.
Yeah.
German name, which was pronounced like an English V, is said to have come from the old German word for slope or bend.
Yes. Too late. Things I never thought I'd hear Mike say on his show.
I know. The road to it is known as the Wankbahn. I'm sorry, Vonk. It's German.
Yes.
The Vonkbahn. So, if you're watching the World Ski Championships at Mount Wank, you won't know that's where it is because they're covering everything up.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to sell all that merchandise, have at it. You know?
I totally,
It's German.
totally agree. Oh,
Yeah,
mercy.
Too late. The decision's been made. All right.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting. Oh, you bonehead.
Rock, have you visited Mountain Wank anytime soon?
I don't plan to.
Segman, what about you? You've been to the Olympics, as I understand. Is that correct?
Correct.
How was it?
Albertville, France in 1994.
You and Mike went, right?
Correct.
How was
He
it?
skied the Alps.
Mike McConnell skied the Alps.
Where Albertville, France is right at the tip of where the Alps begin.
Alps.
We saw ski jumping and other events. Incredible action.
What was his name?
Jean-Claude Keely.
That was that Van Damme? Remember him? No, that's a different guy.
No.
Oh.
We went through Grenoble, France. The bus stopped when we got to Grenoble, France, and got out of the bus and paid homage to Jean-Claude Keely.
Remember Jean-Claude Keely?
The great French alpine skier.
Now, Rock, you're paying off a bet. A few people actually do this.
You know, Rock, put her there, baby.
See,
you go to
there was
Graders.
a technicality, but
Right
you know
here.
what? I figured, you know what?
Because I'd be whining all day.
I'm going to give the Segman because he earned it. He picked the Bucks.
At some point, I took the Bucks, then I
So
switched.
I delivered. I pay my bets.
I switched at the end, and I took Notre Dame. Now I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to beat Kansas City.
You've just doomed the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you.
Wouldn't it be good if they won, though? Wouldn't it be better than Kansas City and
Yes.
Tay-Tay?
So great. I'm so sick of. I mean, everybody's sick of that whole deal. But is Patrick Mahomes endearing himself to the NFL audience?
No.
I don't think so.
Look at Seg.
Want the cherry?
He's getting into it right now.
Grader's Hot Fudge Sundae.
Put it on the left there, Segment.
I need to go back to the bank after that, by the way. This
It's
is
like
not
$7,
cheap.
aren't they?
More
than that?
Yeah.
For a hot fudge sundae
Yeah.
at Grader's, like $10 or something?
No, it's not that much.
No.
7 and change.
I want to bring this up to you if I can.
Yes.
Don't ask me anything for a while.
Yeah.
Now, I had on Jake
good.
Lang, who walked out of the D.C. Jail after 4 years and 4 days. And he has not been brought to trial. It is alleged that he assaulted a Capitol Police officer without causing serious injury or death, despite the news department, et cetera, saying that officers were killed that day.
No.
If you read all the information, the answer is
Nobody was killed.
Nobody was killed.
One guy killed himself. That's
Brian Sicknick is the guy
has nothing
I read
to do with any of
Just
that.
go and check it out. However, when I say that if you assault a police officer, not causing serious physical harm or long-term disability, 4 years in jail, 2 years in solitary confinement.
I would have to ask a cop what they think, but I from my perspective, 4 years, 2 in solitary confinement for he didn't knife anybody, didn't shoot anybody, didn't baseball bat anybody.
No.
So I think he paid his debts, and should he remain in prison for the rest of his?
Now, if you kill a cop,
right,
and they
forever,
tried,
forever.
the D.C. police, Department of Justice, the whole crew there said, we need to find, if we can legally and properly, a police officer that was killed directly or indirectly. In other words, if you hit a cop in the face and 2 weeks later he die of a blood clot caused by that punch in the face, that's called manslaughter. That carries 20 years in jail. So if that was the case, if an officer was killed by a rioter who never should have been there, they all should be punished to one degree or another. And if we can find that person, we're going to charge him. Not one J6 was charged with killing or a manslaughter of a cop. But we act as if they did. Now, am I being soft on crime? Segment says I'm soft on crime. What do you say?
No, the FOP president seems to think
so.
letting him go was a bad call by Trump.
4 years in jail? Life ruined? I mean, would you like to spend 4 years in...
I'd have to ask a cop, maybe take a call or two.
Green
but
Township. Talk to them. What do they say? I'm thinking...
I have to imagine that. I mean, you've paid your debts to society, in my eyes. But if maybe a cop sees it differently, if there's anybody around here that's against violence against cops, it's me. But 4 years for kind of some pushing and shoving.
Don't know.
I think you paid your debts, and they should have paid some debt.
Absolutely.
But I think 4 years and 2 in solitary. Come on.
Well, okay, and not bring him to trial, because it's like, and there's 300 of us similarly situated, and they weren't treated well by the guards. By the way, they were not treated well. Which you heard a cop in prison, you're not treated well. But the rumor was all these cops were killed. And thank God they weren't.
But they keep lying and saying that. That's been the Democrats' strategy for many, many years. Just keep saying it over and over and over. It's not true. Then enough of the willfully ignorant will go, oh, yeah, I heard somebody was killed.
Terrible. It was terrible.
It never happened.
I watched it, Rock. It was terrible. It was awful. It was kind of like burning down a courthouse. Kind of like St. John's Church outside the White House and throwing firebombs inside a church and firebombing the guard station in the White House.
My only thing is, if that was wrong, which it was, how come other times when left-leaning protest groups have stormed capitals, state capitals, Supreme Court, state Supreme Courts, how come that's not treated the same?
Because of the mission of the media is not to tell the truth.
I know. So
you know that.
We got to get back to a spade is a spade. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
Can I say enough? That was wrong. I don't support it. I'm against it.
I don't either.
Proportionality of crime committed and punishment imposed. I want those to be equal, and I don't see much equality in the group that demands to fund the police. That group is the one who's saying keep them locked up.
Ask someone what is for shoving a cop. Again, not shivving them, not knifing them, not beating them with a baseball bat. What is the proper amount of? Is it death? If it's not death, what is it?
What is it? Is it a year?
Is it a year? Is it? I mean, in this case, it's been 4.
4 years, 4 days. 2 years in solitary confinement. Is that enough?
I think so.
Segman, are you done eating?
Man, that's
hot
a great
fries?
Sunday.
Are you done eating that yet?
You two just keep talking.
At one point, I said the Buckeyes, and you took the bet. At one point. Then I switched.
I have a text message proof. You were on the Irish bandwagon, then you immediately left that after that first drive and joined the Buckeyes.
Do we have a bet then after the first drive?
No, it's not how it works. Can't bet in game.
Tell Scott Sloan I'm taking the Bills. I want the Bills.
Do you know that the last thing he wants to happen is for you to take the Bills?
Bingo.
I like the Bills.
Ensures that they will not make it.
Josh Allen, I like the Bills. Buffalo's a terrible city, a terrible part of the country that gets snowed on, 84 inches?
I would like to see them.
I want the Bills.
Eric Wood, a great elder grad.
We had him on.
He's a good
That's
guy.
Your guy.
He's my guy.
Scott Norwood,
He's
remember that?
A former Bill.
I want the Bills to win. To beat the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think the Eagles are going to win at home against Washington.
Bill Polian, my former general manager with the Colts, was the GM for the Bills back in those days.
Well, he didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you, but I tell you in Philadelphia right now, with Trump in the White House, are there now the Washington Redskins?
Not yet.
Miami Redskins?
Not yet.
Segman, what do you say? Look, how about the Colts?
Just keep talking. You two just keep
There's
talking.
been a flurry of action out of the Oval Office.
This is delicious, Rock.
You got it.
You're the best.
But don't tell me cops were killed when factually they were not. Because next time a cop is killed, I may question. The cop, the Border Patrol agent killed Monday morning, shot to death in Vermont. I feel for that constantly, but there's got to be proportionality, and I don't see it many times. In Hamilton County right now, if you would push a cop...
Joe Biden pardoned a cop killer. He killed an FBI agent, correct?
In Franklin County, yeah. Killed him. I mean, there's no question. And not one J6 rioter is charged with killing or manslaughter of a cop because it didn't happen. So let's make it worse than what it is. And it is terrible. It was embarrassing. It was awful. We looked like a banana republic. And it was bad. Segman, are you done eating yet?
Willie, the Stooge Report is a proud service of your local Tempstar heating and air conditioning dealers. Tempstar, quality you can feel in beautiful Northern Kentucky. Go any weather, heating and air at 859-781-4822.
Got another text here from a cop who said, look, a guy punched me and I chased him. I broke a leg, and the guy was charged with assault on a police officer. It was broken down from a felony to a misdemeanor, and he received 8 months in jail. No, that's bad. Punching a cop, broken jaw, bad. Broken leg, chasing him, bad. I think a few months in jail is not enough. If it was, I'd make it mandatory 3 years in prison. If you assault in a felonious way a cop, it's automatic 3 years.
Fair.
I got no problem. Do it. But don't tell me something exists when it doesn't justify a political position. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Can you continue, Segman?
Big East play tonight, Willie, in New York City.
Do I sound softy? Do I sound like a liberal? Huh?
No.
20th ranked St. John's against the Musketeers, looking for win number 4 in a row.
Are they the red men now that Trump's in the White House?
No.
They're not the red men?
Also tonight, Milwaukee and Wright State. Reds update. The Reds Hot Stove League is 6:05 tonight here on 700 WLW. The Reds Caravan will visit Wilmington tonight at the Roberts Center, owned by the one and only R&L Carriers. Now, tomorrow,
Listen
the
to this,
Reds
Rock.
Caravan is here.
They're going to be here, Rock.
They're going to be on my show,
iHeart
correct?
Cincinnati.
No.
No?
11:30 to 12:30.
Tommy Thrall.
I have a reason why that might not be the case. I'll tell the story here in a second.
Please
Jeff
do.
Brentley. Jeff Brentley, the pride of Mississippi State.
Bulldogs.
Emilio Pagan, a pitcher. Cam Collier, third baseman, played very well last year for the Dayton Dragons. Number 5 prospect overall. And Chase Burns out of Wake Forest, the Reds' first-round pick in 2024. The number 1 prospect, number 2 pick overall. And
He can pitch, can he?
He better.
Is he going to be up this year? I hope
don't know.
not. Hope not, because I want the 5 Red starters not to go in the DL more than once.
And then Lance McAllister reports 1 month from today. 1 month from today at 3:05. Reds v. Guardians in the Cactus League opener.
Can they be the Indians now that Trump's in the White House?
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
Let's see what else is going on.
Hey, so real quick. So Reds Caravan, I think it was 2 years ago, right? They come in the studio during our show. We're gonna have some Reds guys on, and there's like 4 of them. And the guy's like, "Hey, he's this guy here. He needs an interpreter. He doesn't speak English." We're like, "Nah, it's kind of tough for
Eddie's pretty good at that, isn't he?
for radio."
What about Eddie?
So we're like, "Yeah, probably not." So Eddie has a guy standing in the corner over there. That guy was Ellie De La Cruz.
What?
Unbeknownst to any of us.
He's
at the
standing
time.
over there?
Yeah,
Oops.
we're like, "Yeah, you stand over there."
What's your
What's
name?
that guy's name? Ellie what?
He speaks English
Nice.
now
Oops.
better than I speak
Nice.
Spanish. I
Oops.
know that.
Thank you.
Did you interview De La Cruz? No.
We couldn't because he couldn't.
Didn't
but
Eddie
at the
speak?
time, no one said like, "Hey, this
That's
is
one
Ellie
of the
De La Cruz."
greatest- that's
That's
him.
the guy. It was
Oops.
like, "Hey, we got this. One of our players. He needs an interpreter." So
he's out
and we're
late
like,
on
"God, would love to, but we only got so many microphones. There's 4 other guys."
Should have conducted the interview anyway. Just do it in English. Let them
Yeah.
answer. Who
What
knows
do they
if
know?
right or wrong? They don't
I blame Eddie.
know. No, that's and CC Sabathia. She did this interview last night in New York media.
I did not.
CC Sabathia's son said,
That's right.
could he get De La Cruz's autograph for him at some point? So the son of the Hall of Famer said, I want De La Cruz.
Yeah,
He said,
Dad,
"What?"
you're okay, but I want
Dad,
that De
you're
La
in the Hall
Cruz
of Fame,
guy.
But I want that shortstop for the Reds.
Now, on to another matter. So Dave Parker is going in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Right.
Did Dave Parker play college football?
I don't think so.
Could he
think he
have?
did.
I mean, he could have been an amazing
he-
linebacker or strong safety,
When
right?
he,
Or tight end.
You want to be out there at quarter tech when he comes around the edge?
No.
He played halfback.
I bet Dave Parker today, if he was a young kid growing up and he's athletic and doing all this, I bet you he goes into football.
He would play football.
Probably
He
so.
would play football and he'd probably be
Quarter tech
unbelievable.
scrimmage.
He'd probably do both. He probably would have been an early Deion Sanders.
I'll tell you a story
Maybe.
about him in high school.
I'm just saying.
Deer Park High School had a scrimmage against Quarter Tech in 1965, before you were born. Coach of Deer Park was a guy named Tom Griswold. And I'm there at the scrimmage. I'm like a freshman or a sophomore. And this tall black guy, comes running around a corner and wipes out 3 Deer Park defensive backs. Only one of them got up. Griswold goes on the field, gives the timeout to the Quarter Tech coach that we're not going to continue with the scrimmage unless you take that guy off the field.
Dave Parker.
Dave Parker.
Really?
Would you cut with 6'4", about 225? He took out 3 little defensive backs. Only one got up.
I would have laid him.
The other 2.
Go right ahead.
We're not continuing this unless
like
that
the
guy
kicker,
goes over
like
there.
the kicker on a kickoff return. Oh, wait a minute.
And I said, for years it didn't come up. And then I saw Dave Parker and I said, did you play football for Quarter? He said, yeah, I played like 2 years. What position? He said, I was a halfback. I said, let me tell you a story about when you scrimmaged Deer Park High School. He said, I don't remember that. I said, I do, because 2 guys never
He
got
doesn't
up.
remember it because it probably happened every time he was out on the football
What
field.
would you have done as a linebacker, Rock?
Gave it hell, but
you're a 5'10", 145 pounder with your helmet on, and here comes Dave Parker when he was 17 years old.
Feel like Derrick Henry coming at you. Did you ever tackle him?
No, I was gone by the time.
Have to do that? Okay.
Tackled a bunch of them, but not him.
He's bigger than you, right?
He's big.
Big. All right.
Bigger than Eddie George.
Yeah. Well, let's get Dave Parker could play football, believe me.
I believe it.
He said,
and if he was growing up today, I bet you he chooses the football path. Because the money and the...
money, just the nil money. All right, Rock, thank you.
Thank you.
Segment, thank you.
You're welcome.
Get me out of the Stooge Report, please. Dave Parker around the corner. We're not playing anymore. That's it.
Go.
Unless that guy gets off the field. His number was 39.
Willie, in honor of another cold day here in the Tri-State, when you need Tempstar, quality you can feel.
Two of them didn't get up. I'm not playing
they're
anymore.
Still there. We leave you with the immortal words of the Stooge Report.
When you fight a pig in the slop, you come up dirty even if you win.
One of my words of wisdom.
What was that reference of?
I have no idea. Thank you, Rock.
Thank you.
Good luck with Eddie.
Yes.
And learn Spanish. This Pagan character segment I may have to interpret.
Okay.
On 700 WLW.
The recent wildfires that ravaged Los Angeles now account for one of the largest disasters in the history of our country. Now, iHeartRadio is bringing you an historic fundraising event.
The Fire Aid Benefit Concert.
Live in Los Angeles.
Donate today at fireaidla.org.
Join us January 30th.
Listen live to the Hit Nation station on the free iHeartRadio app, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern.
And show your support for the people in need in Los Angeles.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm starting the new year by making my home feel like new with insanely clean carpets from Zerorez. Take advantage of the New Year sale now. 3 rooms of carpet clean, only $119 when you mention me, Bill Cunningham, and get a hallway clean free. Schedule online, ZeroCincy.com.
Tri-State Chevrolet buyers, together, let's drive right into the 2025 New Year with an outstanding deal from Mike Castrucci Chevrolet in Milford. Buy a brand new 2025 Chevy Malibu, $21,995, or a brand new 2025 Chevy Trailblazer, just $20,995. Check it out at MikeCastrucciChevrolet.com or visit us at Mike Castrucci Chevrolet in Milford. Tri-State Chevrolet buyers, together let's drive right into the 2025 New Year with an outstanding deal from Mike Castrucci Chevrolet. Lease a brand new 2025 Chevy Equinox, $229 a month, 36 months plus tax, 10,000 miles a year, 25 cents a mile over, $39.95. Cash due at signing. Check it out at MikeCastrucciChevrolet.com or visit us today at Mike Castrucci Chevrolet in Milford.
Don't get caught out in the cold. Call the pros at Oxford Gas today and schedule your propane delivery. Oxford Gas works hard 24/7, 365 to keep your family safe and warm. Call Oxford Gas today, 513-724-7700 or online at oxfordgas.com.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity, Your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell presents Mardi Gras, benefiting homeless children, happening 2 weeks earlier this year. It's Tuesday, February 18th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Scott Sloan here, once again, proud to be king of Mardi Gras as we all team up together to provide over 150,000 meals for homeless children's shelters right here in the Tri-State. Tickets include all your food, all your drinks, live music, a parade. DV8's going to be out there. Got a silent auction. It's a blast and it sells out fast. Get your tickets while they last. Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell or MardiGras2025.org.
Craftsman Electric. CraftsmanElectric.com.
When employers like iHeart and Kroger choose Delta Dental of Ohio, employees access the nation's largest selection of individually contracted dentists and get the care they need from the dentist they prefer. Delta Dental. We do dental better. DeltaDentalOH.com.
Mike Allen Jr. here. We have the greatest legal system in the world, but it all depends on having a great attorney. Charged with a crime, call me. 999 Laws. TK Law. Criminal defense, estate planning, divorce, and personal injury. That's 513-999-LAWS.
Live from the 700 WLW studios. Driven by Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax. Now recognized as the largest volume Jeep dealer in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Mike Castrucci Jeep is the #1 Jeep dealer in the Tri-State. That's Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
You're listening to 700 WLW. Also available on 94.5 FM W233BG Cincinnati.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
A shooting at a school in Nashville leaves 2 kids dead. This is the 3 o'clock report. I'm Matt Reese. Breaking now, a 17-year-old boy who goes to Antioch High School opened fire in the cafeteria late this morning. 2 girls were shot. One of them died.
One of the persons that the 17-year-old shot, a female, was transported to Vanderbilt University Medical Center and is deceased. A second individual wounded, also a female, has what is being described as a graze wound to the arm, and she is in stable condition at Vanderbilt.
Don Aaron is with Metro Nashville Police. The shooter turned the gun on himself, and he has died. A third kid was injured, but not from the shooting. Let's check the roads now on this cold Wednesday afternoon. The latest traffic and weather together.
From the UC Health Traffic Center at UC Health, you'll find comprehensive care that's so personal it makes your best tomorrow possible. That's boundless care for better outcomes. Expect more at uchealth.com. Northbound 75 before Ronald Reagan Highway, the right lane's blocked from an accident. Traffic there stop and go from Norwood Lateral. That's a 25-minute delay. On Ferncroft Drive, it's an accident at Westwood Northern Boulevard. Plainfield Road, an accident near Sycamore Road, vehicle going into a pole there. And southbound 75, traffic slow, Western Avenue down to Fort Washington Way. That is an 8-minute delay right now. I'm Eddie Zellick on News Radio 700 WLW.
Now, the latest forecast from the No Fear Dentist Weather Center. Advanced Dentistry. The thought of the dentist making you a nervous wreck? We're here for you. NoFearDentist.com.
Well, not as cold, but still cold out there this afternoon. Temperatures are going to top out right around that 20-degree mark with partly cloudy skies. Tonight, we drop down to the middle teens before you feel like the single digits. We do hit an afternoon high tomorrow around 30 with a few chances for snow in the afternoon. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Cameron Harden on News Radio 700 WLW.
We have sunshine pushing toward 20 degrees, 18 right now, with a wind chill feels like 6. And we are expecting to reach 39 degrees on Saturday, so getting above freezing very soon. This news brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. Man in charge of Cincinnati's police union not happy with Donald Trump's decision to pardon the January 6 convicts. It's frustrating and outrageous, according to FOP President Ken Coburn.
Assaulting a law enforcement officer and to be let go free, it does send a very dangerous message that this is acceptable somehow. Highland Society.
Kober also critical of former President Biden for commuting the death sentence of the killer of a police officer in Columbus. Kober says he can't imagine being the officers who were attacked on January 6th. First, you live through it, then the attackers go free. The Justice Department threatening to prosecute government leaders who stand in the way of the federal crackdown on immigration. DOJ outlining the president's plans to challenge sanctuary city laws, says those who decline to prosecute immigration cases will be put under investigation, potentially leading to prosecution. Pentagon expected to deploy as many as 1,500 troops to the southern border.
2 U.S. officials tell ABC News that 1,000 to 1,500 additional troops are expected to be sent to the southern border. This is in addition to the roughly 1,500 currently there, serving in a support role to the Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection. They do not carry out law enforcement duties. President Trump has taken executive action this week to try and support his moves on the border. He's declared a national emergency and directed the Pentagon to come up with a revised plan in 10 days for the military to seal the borders. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 166 points an hour from the close. S&P 500 is up 46, and Nasdaq's up by 312 points.
700 WLW. Sports.
College basketball tonight. Big East play in New York City with Xavier at number 20 St. John. 700 WLW's coverage begins at 6:30. Also tonight, Milwaukee up against Wright State and Indiana meets Northwestern. High school basketball in the Kentucky Girls All-A Classic. Bethlehem defeats Covington Holy Cross 70-64, while Brossett rolls over Louisville Holy Cross 57-18. Coming up tonight at 6, Walton Verona against Danville Christian Academy. Reds update. Hot Stove League tonight starting at 6:05 here on 700 WLW. Bill Dennison, 700 WLW Sports.
Got your next update at 3:30. Matt Reese, News Radio 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored by Miami Valley Gaming.
Live harness racing is back at Miami Valley Gaming Sunday through Thursday at 4. See you at the track at MVG.
Must be 21. Ohio Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-589-9966 or visit org.ohio.gov. Ready to take a break? Visit timeoutohio.com.
Progressive Commercial knows truckers can expect the unexpected when driving, but a little heads up like this would still be nice.
Breaker, truck driver. I'm the local meteorologist. Just letting you know I got the days mixed up and a little bit of hail is coming. Over. Actually, it's a hailstorm. My bad. Over.
Be ready for the unexpected with primary liability limits up to $2 million on our specialty heavy truck coverage. Get a quote at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to terms and limits.
Milder temperatures, record lows, or a mix of both. Whatever winter brings, Duke Energy is here to help you feel the warmth of energy savings all season long. From heating and cooling system pointers to window sealing tips, we've got simple ways to help lower energy bills. Sign up to track your energy use and receive alerts using our app. Keep out the cold. Lock in energy savings. We've got you covered. Visit duke-energy.com/seasonal savings for more ways to save. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Don't miss Allworth's top investment moves for high net worth planning webinar.
By front-loading his charitable contributions through a donor-advised fund, we donated his appreciated long-term held stock, creating an immediate tax deduction that year.
Register at allworthfinancial.com.
Attention neuropathy sufferers. Amazing research has now shown that neuropathy symptoms can be reversed. One patient, Andrew, had constant burning and painful feet. But after just 2 treatments, he had a 50% improvement in his symptoms. He was able to sleep through the night and regain sensation. He now walks better, has improved balance, and has reduced his neuropathy medications. So call Elite Physical Medicine at 513-866-7300 to reverse your neuropathy without prescriptions or addictive medications. Left untreated, neuropathy can lead to foot, toe, or leg amputation. So don't wait. Call Elite Physical Medicine at 513-866-7300. The first 25 callers will receive a full exam and an in-depth consultation absolutely free. That's 513-866-7300.
Hey you guys, I'm Catherine Legg. I'm a racing driver who's literally driven everything with 4 wheels across the planet. And I've got a new podcast. It's called Throttle Therapy. This season, I'm gearing up to make history, competing in some of the world's most notorious racing events. Listen to Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg and start listening.
Presented by Elf Beauty, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now.
All right, back with Eddie and Rocky. And Rock, here we are, 2 days into the
we're on day 3, and day 2 was very busy. Here's a little rundown, Ed, of what he did yesterday. Restored merit-based hiring at the FAA, ordered the closure of all federal DEI offices with existing employees placed on indefinite leave, ordered the repeal of LBJ's EO 11246, which mandated affirmative action rather than merit-based hiring, prohibited use of racial discrimination or DEI at federal contractors and universities receiving taxpayer dollars, ordered federal buildings worldwide to stop flying the pride flag, launched the Stargate program, unleashed ICE with authority to target criminals, and granted a full pardon to Ross Albright. So, pretty busy day 2.
Well, let's talk to a fella who we can kind of kick this around with. We haven't talked to this guy in a little bit.
Been a while.
Always having a lot of fun talking to our good friend Dan Snell. He is a multiple-time office holder. He knows his business. He is a multiple author, as a matter of fact, too. Dan Snell, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you, Eddie and Rocky. Always great to be with you and your Cincinnati listeners. It's an exciting time in America. Wow, 72 hours of excitement.
So, yeah, well, Dan, your thoughts on this? You heard what Rocky said. What about all the other stuff that's going on around it?
Yeah, it's interesting because truly about 90% of whether it was executive orders or the things that he's pushed forward are just outstanding. But it's the 10% that gets, a lot of the news making. And it's kind of like, have you ever been on a whitewater rafting? It's almost like we're on a whitewater raft on the Trump River. Everything's smooth and beautiful and you're having a great time. And then here comes the rapids.
Right.
And Donald Trump is always great with the rapids. He creates rapids sometimes. But it's still early, and we're going to play this out.
So let's talk about, one of the big early things he's seemed to have tacked, and that's DEI. He's eliminated that from, all the federal bureaucracy of that and ordered it gone from, public universities receiving taxpayer dollars. What sort of roadblocks is he going to face trying to get that done?
Well, certainly there will be people in Congress and nationally that are going to cry foul on that. But I think the pendulum had swung so far, too far on the DEI efforts that most Americans look at that and go, it was out of control, and decisions were made, hirings were made. A lot of Biden's secretaries and staff and appointees and the people that advised him were so far to the left. It's part of the reason why Joe Biden kind of finished the game poorly, because the decisions that were made in his administration were made by people, not as much by him, but he just followed through and let them run Washington. And so I think that Donald Trump's doing the right thing, and it will balance itself out. I think with hopes he'll be fair in many ways. I see that he's giving them paid leave, but he closed down all the offices. So we'll see what happens there, but I think it was the right move, absolutely.
Dan Snell is our guest. And Dan, let me ask you about with Biden, because he always seemed to, of all of his 50 years in the government, if not more, he always seemed to be kind of a centrist. And then he governed as a very left-leaning president. Now, is that due to outside pressures from people, or was he just old and go, okay, whatever you guys want to do?
I really think that it was in order to get elected, he had to make so many promises that he would be forced to keep after he got elected. And what happened is he probably never imagined that they just kind of, quite frankly, overran him. He was more of a moderate Democrat at times, but gosh, as he finished, he might not be remembered as that way. But we do have to look at the entire 50 years and let him ride off into the sunset with some some hopeful, positive things. But yeah, he just was totally run. His administration just got too far to the left, and that's why he lost.
Now, one of the other big, if not the biggest campaign promise was shutting down the border. He declared a national emergency on the border. From my understanding, it is shut down right now. People are not allowed in, seeking asylum or otherwise. What sort of roadblocks in the courts? In my opinion, he's got to find the way to do these things legislatively. Executive orders, especially hot button issues like that, immediately go to the court system. Boom. And then goes to some appellate court and then goes to this district appeals court. And it gets all gummed up there. The process, in my view, needs to happen through Congress. And that way, they're the ones writing the laws. Does he have a plan in that regard when it comes to the border, or is it all executive orders?
He's leaning heavily right now on his executive orders, but he does have to work through it. And I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on Mike Johnson and Senator Thune to get things done. But he does need to bring it around full scale, absolutely, to have it be an act of Congress, not just Donald Trump. Because if he relies too much on it's just me, Donald Trump, then he's going to run into more bumps on the road. But he has to really be a good, strong. I looked up the name Cincinnati. How did Cincinnati get its name? Do you guys know this? Is a great Roman warrior.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Humility, and civic virtue. And I wouldn't say that Donald Trump was like Cincinnatus. He's not necessarily humble, but he's a warrior, and he's getting a lot of things done. And I think America, especially on the borders, you talked about, Rocky, America is that's part of the big reason, the border. And I see today he sent 1,500 immediately to the border soldiers, American military, and going to add more. And this big announcement on AI, $500 billion. When I saw that number, I go, wait a minute, what's the rest of the story here? Now I see it's over 4 years. And, it sounds really good, but that will be something we'll have to keep an eye on. But the main things were the economy and the border, and he's going right at it with those. So it's a good start.
Dan Snell is our guest. And Dan, you mentioned the economy and inflation. And by the way, like the stock market, historically, no matter what the president, left or right, Republican, Democrat, the stock market, that's rarely affected the stock market for various reasons. But in my opinion, the economy right now is hurting. Inflation is, and I know the reports are always very, carefully languaged, and that, inflation is down. Well, that doesn't mean prices are down. It means that the rate of inflation is either down or stagnant. And all of a sudden, that's like, the average person, I think, hears that and goes, prices must be better. If you think that, then you haven't been to the grocery store lately, because prices are absolutely catastrophically high. So in your opinion, what can he do? What must he do to curb inflation?
Well, yeah, he definitely needs to keep that in the forefront, because that's what people will be watching. One of the things, he declared an energy emergency or something like that. And I do think that if he could bring down the cost of gas even 20 cents, which isn't, that's only like 8% of what gas is. But if he could bring the cost of gasoline and diesel fuel, especially, which would then transportation costs, that would at least have an effect. And he could then apply pressure or encouragement or salesmanship to corporate America to keep, especially food prices in check. Because you're right, Americans are, including me, I go to the store and I go, what? Why is it, eggs, everything goes up. And so he has to keep his eye on the ball. And I always joke I have a little ADD. You probably know that from interviewing me, but he bounces around sometimes from, I love the Gulf of America idea, because he had a good point there. And I don't think looking at Greenland is such a bad idea from a standpoint of world security and safety. But we got to keep our eye on the ball as far as the economy. It's the economy, stupid, as so many presidents have been elected on, and the border, the economy, and I want to win some way of keeping America more united. So some of his comments, I think he still has to tone down a little bit and maybe listen to his wife. I think he should listen to his wife, or JD, your Ohio common sense guy there, and keep away from rhetoric that kind of gets people on fire against him. And I'm hopeful. Let's just say I'm hopeful for what he can do.
All right. With that, Dan Snell, we will let you go. People to find out more about you, where can they go?
TheWinsomCandidate.com, TheWinsomCandidate.com. It's always great to be with you guys. Rocky, I was cheering for Notre Dame heartily, mightily, all that I could.
Yep, it was a great game. They fought valiantly. Ohio State had the better roster, and they ultimately won, so congrats to them. But Irish will be back.
Yeah, you're a good man. You're a good man. That first drive was epic, though. It was epic.
My God.
All of America was cheering.
And Dan Snell.
That's a winsome crew there.
Yes.
That's a winsome crew.
All I can say to you after appeasing my boy over here is go Bills. Now, we will leave you with that. I'll see you, buddy.
Hey, stay tuned. We'll talk again. You guys stay winsome.
No doubt.
Dan, you're the best. Thank you.
Dan Snell is based in KC, just so you know.
And see, that's the beauty of radio and being a host is you can say something like that
right.
before he has a chance to respond. We got to go.
Got my finger on the button.
We're all out of time. Boom.
All right, we're up against the clock.
Up against the clock.
We check in with traffic and weather. What's going on?
From the UC Health Traffic Center at UC Health, you'll find comprehensive care that's so personal it makes your best tomorrow possible. That's boundless care for better outcomes. Expect more at uchealth.com. Northbound 75 is closed down due to an accident between Paddock Road and Ronald Reagan Highway. Traffic backed up from Mitchell Avenue, looking at delays over an hour approaching that zone. Southbound 75, another accident, this at Ronald Reagan Highway. And Ferncroft Drive, it's an accident at Westwood Northern Boulevard. I'm Eddie Zellick on News Radio 700 WLW.
The forecast from the 700 WLW Weather Center for tonight, partly cloudy and cold. Low of 15 for tomorrow, clouds and the high of 33. It is 19 now, News Radio 700 WLW.
Is there a special time you like to listen to Scott Sloan?
I love to listen to Sloaney in the morning at home, in the car going to work, when I'm at work, his podcast after work, and when I'm at the dentist.
Wow, do you go to the dentist a lot?
Yeah, I got some lousy teeth.
I've got a bad back, so I listen to Sloaney when I get a massage. I'm going to do that next time I get one. I hate that creepy massage music.
Sloaney is like 10 times better than massage music.
Scott Sloan, tomorrow morning at 9 on 700 WLW. And check out his podcast on the free iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast. Freshen up your morning with a Wendy's Breakfast, like a breakfast Baconator, or a grilled sausage breakfast burrito, or even a Honey Buddy. Ready for a fresh wake-up call? Gotta be Wendy's. Available at participating U.S. Wendy's.
At Genesis Diamonds, it's not just a new year. It's a new opportunity to bring you more choices, more value, more ways to celebrate your love. So we've expanded our selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds from a half carat to 15 carats, all shapes, all sizes, all at our famous no middleman prices. We've also got lab-grown diamonds of the highest quality at prices way below what you'd see at other jewelers. We've also brought in even more exclusive designer jewelry, new cutting-edge fashion-forward rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, things you can't find anywhere else. And of course, Genesis is proud to offer a truly spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We have all the most popular models in stock. Is this the year you reward yourself with a premier name in timepieces? Come to Genesis in 2025.